We will now begin with our stamping, and we'll start first with the number F902 pointed beveler, as you can see. And we'll start this by putting it on the edge of the ear, and we will come down the edge of the ear, as you can see, keeping it at an angle so that we have our points going out and up. We'll do the same thing to the other side of the ear, keeping that angle out and up, and follow the line of cuts that you made. As you can see now, our ear stands out quite nicely. We'll do the other ear the same way. Now we will do the eyebrows and the mustache, and we will do them the same way. Maybe I won't hit quite as hard because now I'm out on the face of the owl. We'll do the same thing, top and bottom. Be careful not to mash down your eyeballs as you're doing this. Next, I'm going to use a number B200, which is a small to medium-sized smooth beveler, and I'm going to do the eyes with that. I will very carefully place it in the cut and bevel on the inside. Tip the tool forward a little bit so that you do not smash down the eyeball. Just carefully stamp so that you round it and set it in slightly. Owl's eyes are kind of set in, as you can see. And do not hit hard, just hit lightly, because all we're really doing is rounding the eyeball a little bit and setting it in. And that's all there is to doing the eyeballs. Now, if you want, you can take a cedar tool. This is number S632, and you can lightly put a pupil in there, very lightly. Most of the other beveling on our owl I'm going to do with a checkered beveler, number B702, which is a medium size. And I'm using a checkered beveler because around the mustache and the eyebrows here, we will have a lot of texture because of an owl's face being covered with feathers, so a checkered beveler will give us more texture. And we'll outline the beak with it as well. And around the outer parts of the owl, we will also use the checkered beveler because we will be using a matting tool on the outer edges later on to give us some texture to make the owl stand out from the background. We're now going to do some beveling on the body feathers, and at this time I'm using the B202 right, and I'm putting a shallow bevel in a little bit to the one side of each feather. I'm not beveling deep. And what's happening now, I'm putting some shallow lines that go out and down toward the tip of the feather. This will become the stem of the feather after we do the other side. Right now I'm just doing one side. Let me take the one to the other side, and I will now do a slight or a shallow line, leaving a little space in the middle to create the stem that's in there. We will continue to do this all the way down on these body feathers. Next, we will use a number F910 pointed beveler, and we'll use that to start the beveling on these feathers. Notice we'll go up to the point where the feathers separate, and we'll do one impression up in that point to separate the feathers. And we will do this all the way down. And here you can see the effect that the pointed beveler has on giving some dimension to the body feathers. We'll now use the regular 702 checkered beveler to bevel around each of the feathers. Please notice I'm beveling on one side of the feather. Then I will turn it and bevel the other side of the feather. And this makes our individual feather stand out nicely. Here again, I'm not beveling real deep. And this is how our body feathers look after we have completed all of the beveling. I'm now using the B202 right to lightly bevel these wing feathers. Not real deep. And by using the B202 right tool, the texture goes out and down. We'll do the same things on these long feathers, only we'll do it very, very lightly, just barely tapping it.